What's up, you guys? I frequently get asked the same series of questions from people who are nervous or hesitant about beginning to invest their own money. So I wanted to dedicate this lesson to debunk some of the common misconceptions that I hear so often. My objective is to eliminate any fears or nerves you have about investing. After all, we want you to be able to manage with confidence, not cower with fear. So here are the 6 common misconceptions that are not true, and let me explain why. Number 1. You need a lot of money to invest. Guys, it doesn't matter how much money you have to get started. The whole concept of investing is about setting aside money that you don't need immediate access to and letting it grow over a period of time. So whether you have $100, $1,000, $100,000, it doesn't matter because the key here is growth. Look at your favorite YouTube channel or Instagram page that have hundreds of thousands of followers, if not millions of followers. Just think of it, those channels and pages had a mere 100 followers at one point in time, and look at them now. But you know what? You're right. You can't compare money to people, because it's way more difficult to attract people than money. Money doesn't have emotions. It doesn't care what you ate for breakfast. It is purely a strategic numbers game. Yes, of course, 10% of 100,000 is much greater than 10% of 100. But the point is, it takes time to build. You can't just build a house in a day. You have to start by digging a hole and pouring your foundation, which you could then build upon. That's why we developed the full Independent Investor Pro course, where we start by laying out the foundation for you and walk you through different blueprints so you may then decide what kind of house you're going to build and how you're going to do it. Now, technology these days is making it easier and easier for people to get started with very little money, not having to worry about fees and commissions, which can make it more difficult to get a leg up. Heck, you could even start investing with pocket change. Again, we will get more into these types of things later on in the course, but for now, let's pour some concrete. Number 2, I didn't invest early enough. It's too late for me to start. False. You're never too old to start investing. Depending on the time frame of your goals, you could then determine your asset allocation and how much risk you're willing to take. But don't get caught up in age. I want you to pay attention to what steps you're on. For example, do you have any high interest debt to pay? Do you have an emergency fund? You have to focus on the process rather than the finish line. Of course, keep your end goal in mind as motivation, but don't forget to fill up your water bottle and tie your shoes before you take off running towards it. Whoa! And if you're sitting on the couch complaining it's too late, start by doing some squats and lunges and build up those legs. What most people don't realize is it's just as easy to come up with 101 reasons why you haven't started as it is to actually start. I really don't care how old you are because it really doesn't matter. You have goals? You want your money to grow? Well, then stop stuffing bills under your mattress hoping that they'll make babies and magically populate your wallet. Number 3, investing in the stock market takes too much time. Ever hear the expression time is money? Because investing time into your own knowledge will enable you to build a solid foundation and proven strategy, which will effectively save you time from chasing all the scattered information on what other people claim you should do. See how that went full circle? Guys, I've said it and I'll say it again. Yes, it takes time to learn the fundamentals before you use them in a practical setting. But that's exactly why you're here right now. And fortunately for you, we've taken the time to lay it out for you in a structured format from start to finish in the full course. If you think investing takes too much time, then you need to stop watching videos of traders boasting their profits and think about what I just said. Instead, use that time to paste together your knowledge and create a strategy that works for you. There are active investing strategies and there are passive investing strategies, and we'll get into that later on, but ultimately it's up to you to decide whether you want to spend 1 hour a week or 10 hours a week on investing. Number 4, you have to be a professional to succeed. You know who says this? The banks and financial advisors. Why? Because they need you more than you need them. This stuff isn't rocket science, you guys, and there are plenty of very simple hands-off strategies that'll often outperform all these complex and in-depth strategies. Just ask Warren Buffett when he won a bet of $1 million that a market index would outperform a collection of hedge funds, highly trained professionals, over the course of 10 years. So I ask you, why complicate things. Truth is, you don't have to be an expert. You don't even have to be all that smart. Most of these highly intelligent people that try to call or predict the market's each and every move are wrong a lot of the time, or they butt heads with one another as to who's right. So having experience with investing doesn't always guarantee success. And that leads me to my next point. Number 5, it's all about picking the right stock at the right time. Now, although this can be very profitable, there are many other factors that play a part in this, and by no means is this the only way to make money in investing. In fact, it's very dangerous a lot of the time. Most people that attempt to do this are doing it for the wrong reasons. Let's look at little Benny, for example. He is pretty new to the investing game, but he's eager and wants to buy into a stock because all his friends are getting into it, and it's all he sees on TikTok. He spent hours on the internet reading about all the great plans this company has. He's been carefully observing the chart each and every day for the past week. Finally, he decides to pull the trigger and buy in. At this point, one of two things could happen. Either he waits and watches as the stock climbs rapidly and he pulls out to make a relatively impressive return over the short time span he was invested. Then he repeats this process with the next hot stock and watches it not only destroy his ego, but also his profits from the last one. Or he watches it explode with green candles, reassuring him that this is the next big company and he's in it for the long haul. Only to watch it crash back down, realizing that it was just the hype that drove up the price and not the actual strength of the company. So the moral of the story here, guys, don't be little Benny. It happens far too often. There are right reasons for picking a stock and there are wrong reasons for picking a stock. So stay patient and we'll learn more about this in due time. Finally, number 6. Investing in the stock market is gambling. Oh, how I love this one. People who are too scared and lazy to invest have created this absurd misconception that investing equates to gambling simply because it involves risk. Now, risk is a very important factor of investing, but it is quite different from walking up to a roulette table and betting it all on black. Let's play a little game of Would You Rather. Would you rather A, walk into a casino with $1,000, sit down at a slot machine and crank that lever until you hit the jackpot or hit the bar? Or B, walk into the casino, sit down at the bar, pull out your phone and invest $1,000 in the casino stock, knowing that they have a strategic advantage over the long term as a business against your odds as a high roller? Okay, how about this one? A, sit down at the blackjack table, double your money, or walk away empty-handed. Or B, invest that money in a security that tracks the performance of 50 casinos all across the country. All right, I want you guys to pick up your phones right now and message me your answers to each one of these scenarios so we could have a good laugh about it. And on that note, I want to wrap up this lesson with a smile on your face, knowing that you're no longer scared of those investing monsters under your bed. Stay focused, put the work in, use the knowledge you learn in this course, and remember, we're always here to help you along the way when you need it. All right, guys, get out of here. We'll see you in the next one.